Hello everybody, so today I wanted to try the new Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation. I saw this online the other day and I immediately went to Wet n Wild's website and ordered it. I am obsessed with cushion foundation. I love it so much. One of my favorite foundations is the Lancome, I don't even say that. The Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Cushion. Anyways, it's like this, and this is the Lancome one. This is amazing. This is my favorite formula of any foundation I've ever used. So when I saw that Wet n Wild had one, I had to order it instantly. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that today. I already have my eye makeup done. For primer, I use the Guerlain Gold Lure Primer. I think that's how you say that. Lure. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just carve out my eyebrows real quick so those don't get messed up when I put on the foundation, and I will be right back. So my eyebrows are concealed. I use the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. Y'all, this is so good. This is like $6 at Ulta. Shape tape is $27. So for $20 less, that is the best concealer I've ever used. If you have like big pores or anything like that, I have these kind of weird like holes in my face. If you have something like that, it literally fills them in. I don't know how it does it. It's amazing. So the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation is SPF 15. It says it's luminous, lightweight, and buildable, and a hydrating formula. I am oily. I've gotten my skincare down to the point where I'm not quite as oily anymore, but I do work in a kitchen with a lot of grease and a fryer and a lot of grease. I'm a little worried about using this on my skin. A lot of times I like using luminous formulas in terms of foundation. I really don't like the matte, suck dry, cakey look. So there are 8 shades of this foundation, basically 8 shades of white people. I did not realize that when I got this. I was very, very excited at the idea of a new cushion foundation, and I just bought it. I didn't even think about it. It's $8.99, so that's kind of expensive for Wet n Wild, especially since this is 0.52 ounces, and their Photo Focus foundation is 1 ounce, and I believe that one's only $5, so you're probably just paying for the novelty of it. I was really bummed out at the shade selection though, once I went back and really looked at it. When I got it, I didn't even look. I just got the first shade. I got the lightest shade. I didn't think about it. The shade is 106A Light Ivory. So the Photo Focus one, it looks like there's about 20 shades. I don't know if you could see that. It does go relatively deep, but there's definitely a lot more versatile shades than there are in this one. I'm not sure why they would have done so good and then turn around and not, so that's weird. Alright, let's get into it because my camera's dying and I have to go to work. Okay, so the first thing for coverage, we're going to see if it covers my friend. Okay, so the shade does not look bad. It might be a little light. Not terrible. It's really wet. I guess most cushion foundations are pretty wet. So the coverage, I'll zoom in. Yeah, you can really see kind of how wet it is. So the coverage, you can see, I would say medium buildable coverage. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in for this side, because this is the side where I have the most discoloration and hyperpigmentation. Now the reason I used the Guerlain Lure Primer this morning, the gold primer, is because I have problems with things settling into my lines around my mouth and my forehead. And the Guerlain primer is kind of one of the best things I have to use. That, and I just have a baby size of this because it's $1 million. But the Korres Golden Crocus, I use that as a primer sometimes. That seriously tightens my face. Keeps things from getting into the lines and settling. That's why I use that today with using a, who knows, $70 primer with a $9 foundation. So it seems like the coverage is definitely buildable so far, and that's good. I like that. It's not really getting any less wet. But so far in terms of coverage, I really like this a lot better than the Photo Focus foundation. I can't get the Photo Focus foundation to stick to my nose. It's just kind of patchy looking. It's not that easy to build coverage on it. If you have perfect skin and a really good sticky primer, it works well for $5 foundation. This one, I just feel like it sticks to the skin a lot better. It's nice and luminous looking. You know, once you get a setting spray or a powder or something over it, it's probably going to look great. But just the coverage on it is so much better, in my opinion. So I'm going to finish the rest of my face. I'm going to be wearing this to work today for about 6 hours. So I'll check in once my face is done. And I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick before I powder how this looks. I have the rest of my makeup on now. So it does have a luminous finish. I went ahead and sprayed my face with the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 primer and setting spray. This is so freaking good. This is my favorite setting spray. It's expensive as fuck. It's super expensive. I wish I had one that I liked as much. It wasn't as expensive, but it's honestly, so far it's lasted me about a month and I use it every day. But the reason I like it so much, especially with foundations like this, is because it goes on super wet, but if you just kind of sit there and just let it soak in, it dries your makeup. Like, this is a wet ass foundation. I feel like I have powder on my face right now. Like, there's so many times I go to work and I'll work like an 8-hour day and I get to work and I'm like, shit, because I realize I forgot to powder my face. So if you have normal skin and you wear foundation for a long time, if you use that setting spray with this, the foundation doesn't really dry down on its own, but if you use the setting spray, it's going to dry down your face. It'll be perfect. It's amazing. I love the setting spray so much. But I'm an oily ass bitch, so I'm going to powder my face with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Loose Powder. This is so good, and I can't find it anywhere. It's gone now. It's just like gone. I think it was $30. You get so much in here. This is 1.23 ounces. It's kind of similar to the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder, just with how much you get, not the consistency. It has kind of like a peach tint to it. I'm not sure on deeper skin tones if it would have any kind of cast to it. I know I can use it to set my under eyes and it'll kind of lighten them with the peach color. But like I said, I don't have deeper skin tone, so I don't know if it would have a white cast or a peach cast or anything, or if it would show up. So I'm just going to go ahead and powder my face real quick. Also, yesterday when I got the Almay eyebrow peel off crap at CVS, I saw the new Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter. This is weird. This is super weird. So basically I had to scrape off the top because it had like this glitter coating on there, and I should have showed it before. That's just an overspray. Once you get into it, it's so weird. So if you've ever used the Lancome Glow Subtil, how they're kind of like a putty, moussey, they're not wet, but they're like a putty kind of texture. They're like the Stila. They're kind of like the Stila highlights. This is the same kind of texture. This shade I don't love. This is the shade Champagne. It's super gold. I don't know why they called it Champagne. This is gold. This would look gorgeous on somebody with a deeper skin tone than mine. I don't know if you can even see that. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. When I first put it on, I really had to kind of shear it out because it was casting a little bit of a shadow. It looks okay now. I just don't like gold highlights. But they also had a white one, they had a rose gold one, and they also had one that's just called pink. Really only one of them's a highlight for me. The rose gold one, still kind of probably a blush for anybody that would use it. The pink one you could probably use as a highlight, but it would be like a pink highlight. I don't know. I'm super particular about my highlights. I pretty much just like white champagne or like white kind of gold. I really just don't like golden highlights. It does not look good on my skin tone. But this does not look bad. I cannot believe how freaking good this is for Physicians Formula. It's just like thick. It's almost wet. I don't know. So it's really pretty. I just don't like gold highlights. I just don't like it. It's not my thing. Not my thing. I don't like it. Okay, anyways, I gotta go to work. I'm gonna be late. I'm always late. I'm late every single day. Why am I like this? I worked 6 hours today. Kitchen, sweating, etc. I powdered, but when I get off work at 4 and I get home, I will check in. I'll show you how greasy I am. Show you how I look right now after powdering. Pretty good. Yeah, so I will be back. Hello, I'm back. I just got home from work. It is 5:16. So I've had this foundation on since about 9 o'clock this morning. About 8 hours, I think. I never said I'm good at math. So far, I'm gonna turn my face so you can see I've got a little bit of shine around my nose here. I know the lights don't make it very easy to see. But I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so you can see it's wearing off around my nose here. And then one thing this foundation does that I hate about some foundations is right here on the chin, you start getting these little spots. I'm going to move the light and see if that helps. So it's really hard to see, but if you look like right here, the foundation basically kind of starts to break apart and kind of clump together. It's weird. I have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation as well. It's one of my best color matches, but I don't wear it very often because the longer I wear it, I start getting these tiny little dots all around my nose and around my chin. This one's not doing it as bad as the Tarte one does. I don't know if it's just because certain foundations have more water in them or just because they're thinner. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I didn't notice that much of a similarity when I put this on between the Wet n Wild and the Tarte one, but they're the only two foundations I've ever seen do that on my skin. I guess they're both pretty thin in consistency. I really like the finish of it. I like that it's a luminous foundation even though I'm pretty oily right now. I mean, it still looks good. My forehead looks good. I like the ease of a cushion foundation. I don't know if it's even that much easier. I don't know what it is about it, but I love cushion foundations. I love just being like, do, 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 done. I don't even know what's faster, but I just love them. The color is really good. I think it's a pretty good color match. It's hard to tell inside, but when I was outside and I was looking in the car, I noticed that it's a little more pink. It's weird because in the compact, it looks like yellow, like a yellow foundation. But then against my neck, it almost looks kind of pink. Small thing that I noticed, my neck is super yellow, my face is really red. It doesn't make any sense. So I just have to deal with that. The last thing I want to do is go ahead and touch up. So the chin area and around the nose where it started to come off, I just want to touch that up and see how it performs when you kind of layer it, when it already has powder and everything else that I put on this morning. Okay, that's interesting. Before I go on, so you can see how much lighter my chin is just from doing that. I think this foundation oxidized quite a bit more than I realized it did. Okay, so that's the mouth and the chin. And then I'm going to zoom you guys back in for the nose. Okay, so I would say that touches up pretty well. Nose looks a lot better. It actually is sticking to itself. Yes, I know that I just ate my nose contour when I did that. That's fine. Sorry, I just realized my nose ring was turned around that entire time. Gross. Okay, so touch-up looks good. It seems like any of the spots that I had on my chin kind of went away. So the thing about the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea is that I never wear that one to work because I work 8 hours, 6 hours, whatever, in a kitchen, and it always ends up kind of falling apart, doing that weird little dots, and I just can't stand it. It's so noticeable to me. I usually only wear that one if I work like 4 or 5 hours, or if I'm not working at all, or I don't have to wear makeup for a long time, because it's such a good color match that I want to wear it, and it's so lightweight. but like I said, it just looks so horrible at the end of a long day that it's really not worth it. I would definitely recommend this one over that one because this one you can just throw in your purse. You don't have to worry about it making a mess or anything. Just throw it in your purse, touch up throughout the day. It doesn't get cakey when you put more on. Obviously, I haven't set it or anything yet, but it doesn't get cakey or anything. It layers right back on top of itself and it looks great. It's super easy to touch up with. It takes 2 seconds. You don't need to get a brush and a beauty blender and blah, blah, blah. It's all right there. Also, the other thing that I noticed is kind of cool about this is so stupid, but I think it's cool, is at the bottom of the pan, you can see the foundation. It's literally see-through, and you can see all the little bubbles and everything. So cool. So that's it for today. I honestly don't know how this foundation would do on dry skin. Probably better than it does on mine, because you probably wouldn't have to deal with it breaking apart. I don't have any dry patches at the moment that I'm aware of or that I've noticed or anything, so I honestly don't know, but I don't want to speak from an experience that I don't have. But it's $9. If you're interested in it and you like cushion foundations, you might as well just do it. That's it. Like this video if you liked it. Comment if you have anything you want to say, if you tried this. If you also have the same problems with the spots on the chin, it makes me insane. And I really want to know if anybody else has to deal with that. Subscribe if you want to see more, or don't. Okay, bye.